So one thing I loved about the Avengers Endgame spot at the Super Bowl was the fact that Captain America did not look like he's in his element. He looked out of place, once again, almost as out of place as he was out of time. So let's talk about why this section of the trailer really strives home what Avengers Endgame is all about. So if you watch that Avengers Endgame spot, you notice that things are rather bleak and desperate. You know, I've talked about how this is a world where half the population has been turned to ash and it's now floating around these major metropolitan cities. Pretty disturbing to say the least. We see Captain America, we see that there are support groups now for people that can't handle this, you know, and this is something that I've complained about before that I wanted to see them tackle more, and I was afraid they weren't going to. Like I said, I wanted to see some of the MCU shows be set during this time period to show us what the world is like. Sadly, we don't get that, but it looks like the movies are going to explain that and play around with it at least a little bit, so it's good. And the shot that really kind of makes me, understand what they're going for here is when you see Captain America, and he has the shield, and he's working on the straps. He is shaking because he has PTSD. You have to understand he's a war soldier. He's seen a lot, went through a lot, lost everybody's, he's loved one time around, and now a second time around he's lost his best friend and multiple other people, and he feels like he failed. Having to suit up again to possibly take on another big threat that might be returning to maybe end the job, or maybe some new threat that wants to completely destroy everything once they lost once, is a pretty, damn, fearful thought, right? So him shaking when he does that kind of tells you what type of movie and what type of mental state Captain America is in. He's broken. He probably believes he failed as a leader because he didn't do enough to fix the problems him and Tony has. Or had. He probably believes that if they could have done this together, maybe they would have been able to win, but he failed as a leader because he couldn't put differences aside. And that's what's really important here. That's what that spot really tells you, and that's what him shaking is all about. The world will never be the same again, and neither will he. And honestly, it was just a great moment in that spot.